Hey, everybody. Kendall Sullivan. And there's a lot going on today. There's been a lot going on just in general. Um, and we all know what's going on. The ability to think for yourself is under attack. The ability to stand up for what you believe in is under attack. The ability just to have the audacity to be to form your own thought, to have an own opinion is under attack. And in so many ways, the ability of what you do with your own body is also under attack as well. Thanks to the federal courts that are, doing their job and working on behalf of the American people when their government, when their administration is getting out of line. Thank God there's a course. We are a nation of laws. We have a constitution. You have to abide by it. You can't violate the Constitution just because you want to. You can't ram through just what you want to ram through just because you want to. This is a democracy. This is the president of the United States. He's not a king. He's not a king. He may act like one half the time, but you're not a king. And thankfully, his unconstitutional law is burning down in federal courts. His unconstitutional law is on the verge of burning down in federal courts, as it should be, Because you know what? You don't do that to the American people. This is like the worst thing being enacted upon a people by this leader. Think about it. We have an administration that has literally tried to stop Americans from working. We have an administration that has literally tried to put millions of Americans out of work. Imagine that. Really, name me a president that ever tried to do that before. Name me one. Name me an administration that's ever tried to do that before. Really, though. Do this or else? Seriously, though? That is atrocious. It's egregious, to say the least. I don't even have the words to describe what this administration has tried to do to the American people. Really, though. We are a nation of laws. But they try to pretend that there's no constitution, and then you got to be careful these days with what you say and this and that, because again, the ability to think for yourself is under attack. Look in the mainstream media, how they try to shame people for taking a position. They try to shame people for speaking truth to power. They try to shame people for having the audacity to try to make common sense logic and do research on what to do with their own bodies. Imagine that. Imagine that. We all know what we got to do. We all got to stand up for each other. Stand up for Aaron Rodgers, by the way. All those athletes out there, we need you to stand up for Aaron Rodgers because we know you agree with them too. All those other athletes out there, stand up for Kyrie Irving as well because we know y'all agree with him too. Stand up. Stand up for stand up for your own beliefs. Stand up for what you believe in. We know that's what you believe in. You know what? I said before that I wanted Donald J. Trump to run for president, but you know what? It's much bigger than that at this point. We need Donald J. Trump to run for president and win. And the winning part has a lot to do with us. We know Trump's going to do his job. We know what he's bringing to the table. We know he brings to the table a culture of winning. We also have to make sure we come to the polls with the culture of winning. We have to, because the stakes have never been so much higher than they are right now. The challenges we face today are real. They're serious and they're many. Both houses are run by the Democrats. Both houses. The White House run by the Democrats. Well, run by someone that's very sleepy. I'm just keeping it 100. I don't make up things. I don't come over here and sugarcoat things for you all. I'm going to speak the truth. I'm just going to keep it 100 because I know you're not the type of people that want somebody BSing you. I'm not the type of person like somebody BSing me. So I'm not going to come on here and BS you. And that's why I tell you all the time, I wasn't always a Trump supporter. But once I seen who was fighting for us, it didn't take me very long. It didn't take me very long at all because you know what? Donald J. Trump was fighting everyone by himself, fighting for us by himself because he was surrounded by vultures. Everybody was against him. And that's what opened my eyes. That's what made me realize. That's why I voted for him in 2020, because I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Everyone's against Trump, all of them. You mean all these corporate elites want Trump gone because they're, care about the benefit of the American people? BS. BS. That's what I knew, who was actually fighting for us and who wasn't. And that's Donald J. Trump, who's been fighting for the American people since he stepped in the White House when it comes to from a political aspect. But the guy's always built businesses. The guy's always had success. The guy's always been a winner. He's always been a winner and been a damn good business owner as well. He was a damn good president, had the best first term, one of the best first terms in American history. And it's not even engaged in hyperbole. It's the truth. Donald J. Trump had one of the best first terms in American history. What he done with the economy was amazing. What he done with criminal justice reform hadn't been done in decades or ever. What he done when he made us energy independent was the first time we was energy independent in 75 years. This guy, so smart that when gas prices was $1.80 per gallon, he was buying up many barrels of oil as possible while it's cheap and stacking it in our reserves. Imagine that. That's what a businessman will do for you. That's what someone who has it up here would do it for you. That's who pushes common sense policy would do for you, because the guy just is a winner. And that's one thing that I know that's why you and I gravitate to Donald J. Trump, is because we gravitate towards winning. Because in your own lives, you all gravitate towards winning. You all are about winning. I'm sure you do it every day. When you go to work, when you provide for your families, when you just try to make a good living for your families, and you just want to go home after a long day's of work and just be left alone. You don't want anyone telling you, you got to do this, you got to do this when it comes to your own individuality. You don't want any bureaucrat telling you what you should do when you can make perfect decisions for yourself. You don't want a government bureaucrat telling you what you should do with your tax dollars. You don't want a government bureaucrat telling you what you should put in your body. And that's the thing that we all have in common. Because even if you're on this side or that side, something inside you should say, you know what? The government doesn't have the right to do this, or doesn't have the right to do that. We can at least agree on that. Because I'm not here to demonize anyone who voted for one side or the next. There are good people that voted for Trump. There are good people that voted for Joe Biden. I happen to be one that voted for Donald J. Trump, because when it comes to the two candidates, the choices can't be any more clear. I know who's the better for America right now. Look at the results we have right now. I don't like to get into arguing opinions too much. Let's just talk about the results and the statistics. Look where we at now. What were we 8 months ago? A lot better shape than we are right now. That's facts. You can argue the points all you want, but those are the facts. And that's what it's all about. Because you know what? Because one thing about it, Donald J. Trump knew what he was doing. He was about winning for the American people. That's what he was about. And now, what do we have now? Somebody, Sleepy Joe Biden, who don't know what the hell he's doing. Because you know what? He never done anything in 50 plus years for the American people. He definitely didn't do anything for the Black community. And I think I'm one of the best to talk about racism when it comes to Sleepy Joe Biden. Because Trump somehow or another was dubbed as a racist, which can't be anything further from the truth, because he has no racism done on paper. Joe Biden has a history of racism. When it came to the desegregation of busing, he was on the wrong side of that, saying he didn't want his kids growing up in a racial jungle. It was him not wanting Black kids on the bus with his kids. Hey, ask his vice president. We got the tape still. She said that his own vice president called them out on that. I guess they think we forgot. When it comes to the crime bill, the 94 crime bill, this man put more Black people in prison than anyone in the nation. They are hating, and William says they are hating Trump because he has been the most pro-life, pro-American, American history. And that's the thing. And again, William, I have to agree, because that's one of the things that made me think, like, because I've been watching politics since I was like 10 years old. I've always taken interest in the process. I used to be a Democrat that started to change in probably the 2016 election. Prior to, yeah, Bernie Sanders got screwed over when I was at the time voting for Bernie Sanders, and there was no way in hell I was going to vote for Hillary Rodham Clinton. But at the time, ultimately, I ended up voting for the Green Party at that particular time. And after that, I ended up, Donald J. Trump. When I seen how everybody was going after him, and then I just couldn't resist. I had to be truthful with myself. The guy's saying certain things that I agree with. The guy's doing things when I see the media attacking him. And this is another thing too. Even when I wasn't a Trump supporter, I can clearly see the media line on it. And that just pushed me there even further. I got a friend, they was talking about the same thing. They was like, you know what? I'm voting for Donald J. Trump. Because I'm seeing right here what the media is saying. You remember what he said? When he said, the media lied on Trump and said that the media said that Trump said that George Floyd is smiling down about the good jobs number, which was a complete lie. Was a complete lie. Donald Trump said what happened can't happen, and we got to make sure that everyone in this country is protected. And he mentioned something on the lines of the progress that we are making in America when it comes to the jobs. He never said George Floyd was smiling down about the job numbers. I mean, they knew it, and they just still lied and said the BS anyway. I mean, it's irritating to say the least that they want to sit there and just think. And this is the thing about the Democratic Party. They don't have any kind of policy to help make the country better. Oh, no. They don't have any way to create any kind of jobs. Nope. They don't have any way to inspire people to be the best version of themselves, because they don't want you to be the best version of yourself. They want you to be dependent on them. They want you to be dependent on them. And there was a picture posted on social media earlier in the week about, and it had, in 1960s, especially Black families were married at a rate of 80+%. And then it showed the bottom picture where they were all single women with kids. Somebody said, what happened? And my response was, Joe Biden is part of what happened, because he took most of those men and put them in prison for 50 years to life for marijuana. Most of those people got 50 years to life for a non-violent drug offense. Those are the facts. He signed the bill, drafted the bill. No, he drafted the bill, signed the bill, bragged about writing the bill. Those are the facts. So I can't see how anyone would try to call Trump a racist and then vote for Joe Biden, knowing that this guy was rolling Black people into prison like they was on a conveyor belt. No, he can't get my vote. Are you crazy? No. And you know what? And I'm gonna change the narrative on this too, because they look at me, oh, Kevin's a Trump supporter. You know what I'm gonna start telling them? Oh, you are a mass incarceration supporter, because that's what you are if you vote with Joe Biden, a mass incarceration supporter. You are cool with mass incarceration. You're cool with desegregation and busing. I voted for Trump because he's a winner. I voted for Trump because he's good for the country. I voted for Trump because he knows what the hell he's doing. I voted for Trump because I agree on policies that he was pushing. I agree on his criminal justice reform. Of course, I wanted to go a lot further, but I think I got a better chance of getting it to where I wanted to go with him than the guy who authored the crime bill, the creator of the crime bill. Think about that. He was the creator of the crime bill. And see, we got a mainstream media out there that like to shame everyone that thinks for themselves. We got to start standing side by side with people that go out on a limb and speak the truth to power. We got to stand up with our people. They're our peers. We got to stand up with them, because there are strength in numbers. There are strength in numbers. The same way we're going to go to the polls and stand up for Donald J. Trump, stand up to get the midterm, to win the midterms, to get the House and the Senate back. We got to stand up the same way when it comes to standing up for people. Like the athletes, they need to stand up for Aaron Rodgers. They need to stand up for Aaron Rodgers. Those BS protocols they got going on, they need to stand up. They need to stand up. They need to stand up. They need to stand up for Kyrie Irving. We need to stand up for each other, because we are, that's how, and think about it, when we stick together on a united front. When we come together, that's how good ideas are made better. That's how bad ideas are tossed out. I mean, think about that. We don't want the mainstream media thinking for us. And that's what's going on in our country right now. Twitter and all these social media sites are thinking for our people. People just jump on train of something because they seen this person tweeted or this person posted instead of having a thought for themselves. I would encourage everybody to back away from mainstream media for a week and see how happy you are. See how clear your mind comes. See how more thoughtful you come. See how you're able to sit back and analyze things better to see who's telling the truth and who's on that BS. And it was only then when I started doing that till you start seeing the person that I am now, the person that's striving to be the best version of himself. I want to win. The Democratic Party can't come to me and tell me who's making a lot of money. Hell, I want to make a lot of money. I'm trying to figure out how to do what they do. Seriously, though? I mean, think about that. You're not going to do that with me. You can't do that with people that are trying to win. They're trying to win the future. They're trying to be the best version of themselves. And that's what it's all about, being the best version of yourself, being on top. That's what Trump represents. And when I say be the best version of yourself, when I say be on top, I'm simply talking about maximizing your own bubble. Whatever you're in, whatever your profession is, whatever you're good at, how can you become elite at what you're good at? That's what I'm talking about. Inside this bubble, I'm the best in my own bubble. I'm going to maximize my full potential and be number one within my own right. That's what it's all about. That's what the Democratic Party do not push. Donald J. Trump represents that. That's why he got my vote. Had my vote in 2020. That's why he will have my vote in 2024. And I know he'll have you all's vote in 2024 because our nation is under attack. We're under attack with these bad policies. We're under attack. I know a lot of people say 2024 is a long time from now and there won't be anything left then. My response to that is next year, 2022, let's get both houses back. You know, at first I was saying nah, F that. Let's get both houses of Congress back. And if nothing else, stop Joe Biden from doing anything until Trump gets back in. Stop him from doing it. We got to stop the house from burning down. It's already on fire. We got to salvage as much as we can so there'll be something left when Trump steps back into the White House. That's the reality we're dealing with. I think we got the power to do that because what I see every day when it comes to Trump supporters, the way y'all are enthusiastic 3 years out, I mean, this is going to be one of the biggest blowouts in American history, and it better be a blowout. It needs to be a blowout. It has to be a blowout. You all know we can't have a close election. We got to blow them out. Same thing. And when I was playing sports, when I was playing basketball, you know, they'll say, hey, when we complain about the ref this, ref that, what would the coach say? What would the people in the stands say? What would your family members say? Take care of your business and you don't have to worry about the officiating. Hit your free throws, get your loose balls, and you don't have to worry about that. So what we got to do is hit all free throws. What we got to do is take care of our loose balls. How we do that? By not leaving a vote out there. Is everybody that we think that we can get to turn out the vote, we need to make sure they turn out the vote so we can blow them out. That way there's no debate. That's the way that the election is called that night. We're not even going to get into the games of days of this. No. We're going to blow them out. We need to blow them out. We got to blow them out in the 2024 election. We know these things. No time to complain about what they may try to do and this and that. No, we just going to step up to the plate because we got an MVP type caliber player in Donald J. Trump. We got one of the best politicians in the game right now. All we need to do is go out there and take care of our business and he'll be victorious. Straight up. That's what we need to do. Let's go out there and take care of our business and Donald J. Trump will be victorious. That much we do know. He's the best in the game right now. We are the most enthusiastic in the game right now because we are on the offense this time. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're what you call the hunted right now. We're the one that's going to be going out there. Let's get this done. Let's get this done. They're going to be the one that's a little bit relaxed, you know. They're going to be the one that's a little bit relaxed because they don't think no way in hell that our guy will get back in. Well, we're going to show them that he is the rightful president to begin with. That's what we're going to show them. So going forward, let's not worry about this and that. Let's just worry about how can we beat them by a large number. That's what should be our focus. We need to focus on beating them we need a massive voter turnout, which I'm confident we'll have, but I don't want us to get too, lackadaisical, because we are still going up against an incumbent. We are the challenger this time. So we're going to have to go in there full stop, and we got to be ready to go. And another thing too is anybody who thinks for themselves are being attacked. I'm sure you guys catch them in the streets at times, having the audacity, if you even let your views known, having the audacity to speak for yourself, or just having the audacity to think different than somebody standing next to you. And we're not supposed to think the same. That's the thing. That's what makes America great. We aren't supposed to think the same. We aren't supposed to sit there and think like, okay, and think about this. How many of you all have lost friends because you voted for Donald J. Trump? How many of you all lost friends because you got a different opinion than them? That has to stop. That has to stop. There are people that I'm cool with that voted for Joe Biden. I'm not going to not be cool with them because they're not. There are people on social media that I've befriended because we agreed with the Democrats. The minute I jump off that and start thinking for myself, guess what? They block, unfriend, whatever they do. And that's the thing. And that's when you realize that you couldn't have really been a friend then. And yeah, let's be honest. I don't want a friend where the requirement is that me and you agree on everything. You shouldn't even want to date anyone to where you got to agree on everything. If that's the requirement, let them go. If the requirement is that you got to agree with everybody on everything in order for them to be in your life, let them go. They're not worth it. They'll just hold you back. They don't have the ability to go where you're headed, because you got the ability to switch up and turn and be able to reassess things and think, okay, maybe I was wrong on that one, or maybe I was really right on that particular thing like that. And you're not going to get there with them. You're not going to get there with them. So William said, I also opened my eyes when Trump ran in 2016, when I saw how aggressively they were attacking him with false narrative. Before that, I was a Democrat. He opened my eyes. Thank you for speaking the truth to all the Black Americans who are the majority that vote for Democrat. They're being deceived because the DNC is a racist party, and the Black Americans need to know this. Check the history and you'll see. I'll put this on the screen for a minute because I think that everybody needs to know this is what goes on, especially in the Black community. They basically steal votes every election cycle because the majority of us vote based on symbolism. And I will say this is what the Republicans need as well. They need more people, I'm going to be honest, like me, because I'm going to speak the truth. I can tell you what you need to do. I can tell you what's going to cost you votes, and I can tell you what's going to gain you votes. Taking the Black Lives Matter issue head on will gain you votes. And this is how you do it. You don't just forget the premise of Black Lives Matter altogether, because first off, the premise I agree with. Black lives matter. And I would like to think that everybody believes that Black lives matter. But we know that's really not the case. And this is why. Does all lives matter? Of course. But this is how the conservatives need to approach the Black Lives Matter situation with the people that say all lives matter, because we all know all lives matter. But this is how you approach that. You approach that by saying, you know what? I know that you believe, I believe all lives matter. But right now, the court system doesn't say that. That the judicial system does not say that all lives matter. The system itself does not say that all lives matter. We got to make the system say it. We know that me and you believe all lives matter, but our system itself does not say all lives matter. You see what I'm saying? That's what needs to be said. And that's why if I was on the Trump campaign, when he was doing all that pardoning people that Joe Biden has put in prison for decades, I wish he would have said, yeah, and we doing this because Black Lives Matter. Which Trump was just doing a lot of the right things. He just wasn't every little thing that he didn't highlight. But that's what I'm saying. That's why it needed to be. I would have loved to be his campaign manager. Like, seriously. because we were after Joe Biden. Nowhere in hell Joe Biden would have called Trump a racist on national TV without coming back on, without me saying, having the president say, what, really? The many people you put in prison? What have you done for black people in 50 years in office? But you know, that's neither here nor there. But when he runs again in 2024, oh yeah, I'm sure he's going to be all game and ready. Which Trump did toward the end, call Joe Biden out for his racism, because it was Donald J. Trump that was pardoning black people from prison. Donald J. Trump. Joe Biden has not pardoned out one black person since he. No, let's bring that back. Joe Biden has not pardoned anyone since he's been president. Imagine that. The so-called racist, who y'all said Trump, what Trump is, was the one who was pardoning people. It was Donald J. Trump that was pardoning people. I'm just saying. But what I'm saying, but I'll say this too as well. I will say this too. Donald J. Trump is more than just a businessman. He's just a winner. And that's one thing that you want to teach your kids is how to win, how to be the best version, how to really go out there and get it done. And that's one thing that he brings to the table. Joe Biden doesn't bring that to the table. All Joe Biden brings to the table is how to go to sleep. That's the only thing I see him great at doing is sleeping. Sleeping and pushing through bad policy. Sleeping and tearing up our economy. Sleeping and got the prices at the pump. Americans are being taxed at the pump. Americans are being taxed when they go buy a home. Americans are being taxed when they go to the store. The price of goods are through the roof. And you know what? His policy is only making it worse. What are we going to do about it? Oh, for everybody that's watching, make sure you guys share this video. Share this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to my page, fan page, Kendall Sullivan as well. But yeah, we're going to get into it. So what do you guys think? Do you all see the attack on people who have the ability to think for themselves? Do you all see that? The people that have the desire, they only, like William said, they only use the Black American election and abandon them after the election. That's been going on for 50 plus years, and I'm for one tired of it. They have been using Black Americans, using their vote every election cycle. And then you know what? The funny thing is, when you really think about it, when you ask someone what they agree on, when you put Trump policies right here, and you put Sleepy Joe's policies right here, and you don't say who policies belongs to who, they agree with Trump's. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. When you put the policies, when you put Trump's policies here, and you put Sleepy Joe's policies here, and you don't say whose policies are who, they always agree. They'll agree with Trump's policy, because I know. I mean, this is my community. I know what we desire. We don't really want people telling us what kind of firearm we can have. We don't want people having threats against us on the Second Amendment. We don't really want late-term abortions where we killing kids, killing babies that are almost ready to be born. Not really. No, they don't want that. No. Because you got to think. Yeah, at one point, a lot of us were Republican anyway before the two parties reversed. But what I want us to do is start playing quid pro quo, making voting transactional. Meaning I'm not going to vote for you unless I get something in return for my vote. That's what I started in 2016 when I voted for the Green Party at that particular time, before I become a Donald J. Trump supporter. 2020, I become a Donald J. Trump supporter, and and it was a good thing, because I feel like I did what I could to save the country from what we're going through right now. Because this president here and this vice president. Now, if you make me choose which president I prefer to have, I'm as bad as Biden is. I would much rather have. I'm glad he ran over Kamala. I think she's a million times worse, and that's not saying nothing. That's not saying much. But Joe Biden is steady overstepping his authority. Thank God there's a nation of courts that's just to try to keep him in check. thank God for governors like Governor DeSantis, who's probably one of the best governors in the country right now. Shout out to Governor DeSantis, future presidential candidate as well. If Trump decides for some reason not to run this election cycle, I'll be just as happy with DeSantis. But we need Donald J. Trump, though. Some people say that maybe DeSantis will run as Trump's running mate. Who would that be a powerful ticket? I don't know if DeSantis would actually leave Florida right now, though. Doing such a dope ass job down there, great ass job down there in Florida. So, and I don't think he really want to give that up right now. But we'll see. But because I'm sure DeSantis is ambitious. I know DeSantis is wanting to go, is going to run for president at some point. I'd be shocked if he didn't. I'll be shocked. One thing I do know, though, he's getting it done. I mean, talk about a guy who do his homework and then just go to work. I mean, Floridians should be very happy with the governor that they have, and Governor DeSantis. He is the real deal, and he is a fighter for the American people, just like Donald J. Trump is for us. He was for the country. Donald J. Trump is one of the best presidents to ever step foot in the White House. Just his intangibles, his it factors, his will to win, his will to be the best. And that's one of the things that inspire a lot of people. Definitely, I know it inspires me, because the will to be the best. If I ever decide to run for governor one day, oh yeah, I'm gonna be just like DeSantis. The federal government come pushing stuff down that doesn't make sense, that infractions on American people's rights. We ain't doing that shit. Oh, nope, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. And that's one thing that people admire about DeSantis, because he's standing up for his people, because he know that in court they can't beat him. He know that in court he will win in court based on standing up for the people and their rights, because a lot of the stuff that they pushing out is unconstitutional. They don't have the legal authority to do a lot of the things that they're doing. That's what, we just got to bring common sense back. And we got to unite people. So the Democratic Party know they can't beat you on their ideas. So what they try to do is divide people. They know that they can't beat you on their ideas. So what they do is try to demonize you. They know they don't have any new ideas. So what they do is try to make many people they can be against you. That's what they try to do, because they don't have any ideas. They don't have any way to make the economy better. No way to lower the gas prices. No way to lower the cost of goods. But they're great at dividing us. That's what they do. And I frankly am tired of it. I know you all out there are tired of it. I know you all out there, and I say this all the time, I sound like a broken record, but I don't care. Most of you all want to go to work and be left alone. That's all you're asking for. Right now, we have an administration that's literally trying to take your right to work away. That should be an impeachable offense. There need to be someone drawing up impeachment papers right now for Joe Biden and Kamala. Impeachment proceedings should be underway. In 2022, once we take both houses back, we need to drop impeachment. But at the same time, do we really want Kamala to be president? So at the same time, we might not need to do that. But you all get my frustration, because I know you're probably going through the same thing. But what this is right here, this is the worst. I'm willing to say this guy's the worst president I've ever seen in my lifetime. What are y'all thoughts? Is Joe Biden the worst, or am I engaging in hyperbole? Am I exaggerating? Is Joe Biden the worst that's been seen in modern times? In my opinion, he is. What do you all think? Is Joe Biden the worst president? I think he's the worst. I think that, the audacity to try to fire the American people from working. Most presidents go in, regardless of what party they are, trying to create jobs. Am I missing something? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm wrong on the whole thing. Maybe I'm just some kind of Trump supporter that's just wrong on the whole thing. Most presidents go into office trying to create jobs. This is the one that I've seen for the first time in American history that is trying to destroy jobs. The first one that I've seen in American history trying to stop Americans from working. And I think it is egregious. I agree. William says he's the worst. William says he's the worst. Who else agrees? Is he the worst? I know. I'm pretty sure most people that if we were to do a poll up here right now, most would say, the majority would say that Joe Biden is the worst president that ever stepped foot in the White House in modern times. And I know you all, some few of you all that's a little bit older, probably seen more presidents than I have. I'm sure that but I'm based on and what I've seen, he is the worst. Most presidents go into office trying to create jobs. This is the very first in American history that's trying to fire American people from their job. He is trying to take food out of the mouths of American people. That is an atrocious, that is an atrocity. It is the most egregious thing, in my opinion, done by a president in modern times against his own citizens. Can you believe? Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine how bad that is. That is the worst for a sitting U.S. president to literally try to fire somebody, because no matter how you want to shake it, no matter how you want to slice it, at the end of the day, you're basically saying, do this or else. In my opinion, threatening your livelihood, threatening your ability to feed your family because you won't do what he wants you to do. Thank God we're a nation of laws. Thank God that we have a nation of laws stepping up to the plate on behalf of the American people, because we need you. We need you right now. The federal courts out there, we need you right now. To the Supreme Court, we're going to need you too. Thank God we're a nation of laws. But at the end of the day, we just a free people that want to maintain its democracy. We want to maintain its independence, maintain its will to be the best. We want to maintain our country to where we can just strive to be the best version of ourselves. We want to become, we just want to maintain that independence, because you know what? Our ancestors died for our right to independence, the right to freedom, the right to choice, the freedom of choice. That's what it's all about. That's why they put their necks on the line. That's why they put the necks on the line. So we can be free. And we can't let anybody threaten that. And when they do threaten that, we got to make sure they know it at the ballot box. We got to make sure they feel it at the ballot box. They got to go. The very first time we up for an election, we need to vote some people out of there. Period. We got to vote them out, because you know what? We can't just let them do us like that. It's not right. And it's not what those that come before us envision this country to be. Because if we let them get away with this, oh man, what do it end? What do we get to next if we let them continuously do this? I can tell you where it's going to get. They're gonna do more and more and more, pushing you around, more and more and more, tying your livelihood to what they want you to do. You don't do this and we'll take it away. Think about that. You don't do what we want you to do, we'll get you fired from your job. Fire people from that job. That is the worst thing that I think I've seen. That's why I say this is an impeachable offense. That's why I think it's an impeachable offense. Because you know what? It's egregious. It's egregious. I mean, I don't see why even Biden supporters don't stop and say, you know what, that's a bridge too far. That's a bridge too far. There's no way anyone should go along with that, because you know what? It's just not going to end well. It's not going to put us in a situation to where we'll win in the future. I agree. If we let them, it will be our fault if we let them. It'll be our fault if we let them, because you know what? We got to do better. William, we got to do better. We got to do better than that, because, and the reason I say that is because if we don't, they're going to take up whatever independence we have. They're going to take it. They're going to take our independence. Whatever independence we have is going to be gone if we don't step up to the plate. If we don't step up to the plate, it's going to be gone. And the thing is, more and more of us going to have to stick up for each other. And that's what I've got to part where I started doing. Yeah, I voted for Donald J. Trump. You're not going to make, first off, I wish I would let somebody who voted for a mass incarceration person shame me for voting for somebody who freed, what, over 7,000 people? 91% of them Black. Yeah, Donald J. Trump. And you know what? One thing about Trump is he is going to, one thing about Trump, he stands up for the American people. That much I do know. He stands up for the American people. He stands up for the American people. And you know what else he does? He don't care what anybody got to say. And that's one thing that I think sometimes get in the way of our success as a people. We worry about what other people have to say. And Donald J. Trump was the type to say, you know what? They're going to criticize me on whatever I do. So I'm going to go 100 miles an hour and win and fight for the American people and let them stay over here and talk to themselves. And that's one thing I admire about Trump. Even before I become a supporter, I liked that how he was willing to stand up to the media, didn't care about what they had to say, try to keep him cursing so much, didn't care about what they had to say, and just won. And I think that should be a lesson for every boy, girl, man, child, woman. Everybody should stick to that. Be the best version of you. Don't let anything get in the way of that. Don't let anything get in the way. And the way you get there is you get there by just being you. And see, another thing too, and I told you all this before, this is how you know they're not really sincere. I had a Democrat text me, I guess one of these vote now type people, whatever, about, hey, Kim, do you want to fight against police brutality? And I'm thinking, real police brutality? Sure. But I'm going to let you know this, though. I don't support Joe Biden or the Democrats. You know what their response was? Well, I appreciate you for letting us know your views. So that's not, now you don't need, now we're not going to fight against police brutality because I'm not a Democrat? Imagine that. Here's the thing. Does police brutality exist in some situations? Yep. Is every cop bad? Hell no. Do I want to defund the police? Fuck no. I don't want to defund the police. Excuse my French. I don't want to defund the police. Who do you think we call when we have a problem? Who do you think we call when we have an issue? But here's the thing, two things can be true. There are great cops and there are bad cops. And that's why, and you're not going to make me pick a side. You're not going to make me say all cops are bad. You're not going to make me say that no police brutality exists. Both of those things will be a lie. Two things can be true, though. Most cops are good cops. There are some bad apples out there, as if there are bad apples when it comes to anybody. That is the truth. Racism in this country exists. Is everybody racist? No. There are people that despise racism just as much as any of us. But again, two things can be true. There are some people that go to the extreme and say racism doesn't exist. I'm not that type. There are some that, because we know they're not telling the truth. There are some that, would try to make it seem like everybody's racist. Again, I'm not that person. I'm a fair, free-thinking person that are friends with anybody. But what I will say is we got to come together. We got to come together. We got to come together. And I'm going to tell you another thing that I don't stand up for either. I believe in the premise that Black Lives Matter. But the Black Lives Matter organization, I do not support. We are not in line together. I don't agree what they push. I'm just saying. That's where I am with that. I'm a free thinking person. I'm going to do this my way. If I was a politician, if I ever run for office, I'm going to do it my way. I'm not going to be subjected to your red tape, to your narratives. No, I'm going to think for myself and act accordingly. That's what every American should do. But right now, the TVs is dominating people's brains. The social media feeds is dominating people's brains. And until we get to where we're not doing that, we're going to stay in turmoil. Until we become a free-thinking free-thinking people as a collective, we're going to stay in turmoil. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, a lot of things I think I have in common with you all. It feels good to be able to conversate and talk to people who see what's going on, who speak the truth, who's a free-thinking people, whose mindset is on winning. That's why I keep coming back here talking to you all, because you all inspire me, because you all inspire me to be the best, because you all inspire so many other people to be the best, because you all take a lot of heat for the views you have. You all take a lot of heat for being a Trump supporter. I know I do. You shouldn't, because I don't get on nobody's case for voting for Joe Biden. I'm just like, I'm sure you all don't necessarily demonize anybody for voting for Joe Biden. You think they made a bad decision. You think that they made the wrong choice, just like I do. But at the end of the day, what we do know is the only person that can really save us right now, Donald J. Trump. He has what it takes to put the country back on track. And it's going to be a daunting task even for him. It's going to be a very daunting task even for him. But yeah. Oh, William, I think you should, hold on 1 second. We got to go. We should come on and go live at one day. I think that'd be great. I think that people would like to hear what you got to say as well. Hit me in my inbox and we can set that up at a time that's ready for you. What we can do audio, or you can be on camera. It doesn't really matter. And anybody else that wants to come on here and express their opinions as well. This is an open channel right here. We're on the verge of building. And when 2024 comes around, we'll be very big by then. But we'll say this. What we're on the verge of doing is because we need common sense media. We need people that's going to be willing to speak the truth. We need people that's willing to call a spade a spade. We need people that's willing to go out there and say, you know what? Hell yeah, Trump 2024, and say it with enthusiasm, say it with passion. That's how we're going to overcome this. We will overcome this because cynicism has never signed the Civil Rights Bill. It's never put a man on the moon. Cynicism has never built a job. It always come through inspiration and hard work, and people willing to stand up and be the best of the best and say, you know what? I want to be number one, because being number two is just only the first loser, as Dale Earnhardt would say. Because you know what? We're going to get there. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.